Coach Teresa Ford here, and this is the Guiding You Home podcast. This is a thought-provoking and often humorous approach to moving you closer to the only one who can genuinely help you live a life of abundance and prosperity. Sound good? Yeah, it's you that needs to go within so you can sit in the driver's seat of your life, co-creating with God. So make room for more light and knowledge. As you continue to listen, you will discover elements of how to lead with your inner light, how to act on your specific promptings, and how to follow your spiritual intuition so you can fulfill the measure of your creation. Thanks for being here, and let's dive in. So today's episode, I really wanted to go over this document right here, the Vision and Clarity Worksheet. I created this worksheet because I want it to be a guidepost for you through the entire year. I think it's important that we have a means of setting goals and then following through with them so that we don't get overwhelmed with all the New Year's resolutions and all the good ideas that we have for our life, right? But sometimes our imaginations get bigger than our actual capacity to stay the course because life comes at us and we've got ups and downs and things are happening in our lives and it just gets chaotic sometimes, and that's okay. So I wanted us to have an opportunity to talk through the Vision and Clarity Worksheet because, I just want you to have that support, right? So I'm just going to pull my little sheet up here. Okay. So your year can start any month you want it to, any week, any day. If you're like, man, I need a new direction and it's July, let's go. Like you can go July to June and it's going to be okay. So let's not make up too many rules about why we can't stay the course or why it's not going to work for us. Okay. The point of this Vision and Clarity Worksheet is it's a guidepost. I want it to flip the trajectory of your focus. It's your focus that we're concerned about. And your focus is anywhere on any given day. But this is going to give you a back pocket word. There's going to be a word in your back pocket you pull out and like, oh yeah, that's my focus. So you're like, ooh, decisions. I have to make a decision in my life. And then you pull out your word and you're like, oh yeah, that's my focus. It's going to help you make decisions. You're going to have more clarity. That's why it's the Vision and Clarity. I want you to have a vision for yourself using this word. I want you to have clarity for yourself using this word. And that any challenges, shifts, surprises, things you're blindsided by, when it pops up, this even works for triggers, trauma responses, anything that pops up, you're like, what would I do? What do I need to do here? Your word will bring you right back to the vision and focus that you want. It'll help you realign in a moment of unclarity. So you can download this Vision Clarity Worksheet off my website at teresaford.life. And it's free, no strings attached. I want you to have it. I want you to have clarity. I want to work with you on any level I can. So this is my little service opportunity to you. So there's some reading. I put myself into this document. So there is some reading to do, some clarity, some understanding up front about where your stress is coming from, why you need this word to guide and direct you. And so there's a stress awareness wheel where you can just kind of go around. I've put an example in the worksheet and you can just pinpoint where your stress is high and why your fun is low. So when stress is high, fun is low. That's just the way it is. You rarely have this, there could be things that you're engaged in that are fun. And so you're stressed while you're like trying to move through it and you've got your creative juices flowing. Stress can be high at the same time. That's fun, but that's usually not the case. And that's usually not why we go looking for a new vision and new clarity. Okay. So, you'll go through the stress awareness wheel. You'll go through all the topics of like career, money, community, where your fun and recreation's at, your family, relationships, health, personal growth, all of that. So your relationships encompass people at work, friends in the community, people in organizations that you belong to, just, with your children. They're just people that you are in touch with, and they also happen to fall in that circle of influence that when you're being you at your very best self, your circle of influence benefits. Okay. And then I'm going to take you through some exercises like jumping ahead to the end of your life. What were the 3 most important lessons that you would want to pass on to your posterity in order to live a happy and stress-free life? And then think of someone you deeply respect, a mentor of yours. Like for me, when I was a mom, I had no point of reference of mothering. My mom was emotionally right about 3 years old and had too many regrets in her life to be guiding anybody else. So I had to go find mentors, and I found mentors who were mothers. I found mentors in my own neighborhood. I found mentors through books, different authors, and through podcasts. And back then, I guess podcasts were more like audiobooks, but I still found people that knew more than I did about mothering, that fell within the same parameters of the values I wanted to teach and the essence of who I wanted to be. And so I think that's really important. So some people will skip this one because they haven't purposely gone searching for their mentors, but you had mentors, someone you were like, ooh, that was a good idea. That was a mentor right then and there. There was somebody that gave a talk once, and I was like, oh, yes, that is what happened. I couldn't process that experience I had, but that's what happened. And now I know how to process it. That's a mentor. Okay. So fill out these 3 mentors. And then I'm asking you a deeper question. Why were they a mentor to you? So here's an example. I had just gotten into fitness. It was an accidentalpreneur. I had lost 8 dress sizes. We were without a job. I had to go get a job. I ended up working in a gym, in a nursery, taking care of other people's kids. I was like, if I'm not home taking care of my kids, why am I taking care of other people's kids? So I actually got a job behind the counter, making smoothies. Turned into me watching all the trainers bore their clients to death. And so I was like, I could have fun with my clients, and we're going to go do that. And that turned into me looking for mentors in fitness, because I was definitely late to the game. Everybody else in fitness is about, they're in their 20s, and I was in my 40s. And so I went to a conference once, and there was this guy that was teaching a class, and he was teaching how to do fitness for children. And he had all the adults in the room on BOSUs and with jump ropes and running through obstacle courses and crawling on the ground and rolling under things. And everybody was just laughing and having so much fun. I was like, that's it. We got to run and play. We got to act like children if we're going to have fun and get fit. And so I went up to him. Well, okay, to be honest, I stalked him, and he was like walking on the upper balcony. I was like, where's he going next? I'm going to go to his next class. And he was like looking down going, there's that lady following me again. Finally, at the end, I'm sure he was relieved that I wasn't a weirdo. I pulled him aside, and I was like, Brett, how did you get to be like this? So fun, so knowledgeable. You got the job done at the same time of making it so fun and creative that nobody even knew they were doing a workout. And he was like, oh, I work with Todd Durkin. I was like, oh, okay, who's that? And so I stalked Todd, because that's what you would do when you're like, okay, I don't belong to this group yet, but man, I really want to. Those are mentors, the people that you stalk, because you're like, I don't know how you got to be that way, but I got to do what you're doing the way you're doing it for a while until I figure out how I want to do it. And so fill out this and really search, why was I called to this person? Because it's going to tell you a lot about your own wants and desires in life. I wanted to have more fun. I had so much serious life in my life, so much trauma to understand and uncover. I was raising my 5 children and homeschooling them, and that was a full-time job because you never know how to parent your children until it's over, and then you can go back and give yourself some good advice on what you should have done, shoulda, woulda, coulda. And so again, why you are finding mentors at the time that you found them and the time you are finding them tells you a lot about your own wants and desires, and so it will help you get clear on your vision for yourself and where you're going with your life, what maybe is missing from your life. Okay, so then the next page is, who are you at your best? When I'm at my best, I am, and be descriptive. The more words you use, the more ways that you can say it. Oftentimes in my podcast episodes, I say the same thing 10 different ways because it's the way you'll hear it best that really moves the needle for you. So if you need the back of the page, please use it. Don't be limited by the little piece of space that I gave you to write in there, but be descriptive about who you are when you're really cooking with gas, when you're really on top of your game. Okay. Name 3 different ways that happens. And then a vision exercise, your strengths. Who are you at your core? I am. This is hard because a lot of people are like, yeah, but I'm not. But that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking you to get clear. Who are you? I am. And then fill out those 5 I ams. And then your passions. What do you daydream about or what do you study about in your spare time? Like, where are your real interests? What do you do when you're alone and you're like, I could do something? Now, I'm not talking about your trauma, what you do alone and that you go into paralysis or something like that. I personally, I was overmanaged as a child, and when I was being overmanaged, I was also being emotionally manipulated. So when my mom would leave the house, I would get into everything. I would get into all the things that she would not allow us to get into. I would open up the closets and see what was in there that my mom was hiding that was so secretive. And it turned out it was costume jewelry and shiny things that I'm sure in looking back, I think my mom she was a royal individual. She had a lot of amazing qualities about her. She was very regal. That's a good word, regal. And I think she really admired the Hollywood life. And I mean, she had the fur mink stoles that they had back in the day when it was ethical to wear animal fur. She had that. She had all the costume jewelry, and when she dressed up, man, watch out. She was so beautiful, so regal, and it was amazing to see her. Emotionally, she wasn't there, but physically, she had it going on. So, when I kind of got lost there. When I was at home alone, I would get into all the things because I wasn't allowed to explore or feel free in my home. So sometimes when I'm alone, in my free time, I don't know even how to say it. I will do the things that I waste time, I guess is a good way to say it. I will waste time. I will pull out the snacks even if I'm not hungry, and I'll watch the TV that I wouldn't have watched with somebody else. And I'm a documentary freak, so it's not like weird TV. It's just that I don't have anybody that would watch documentaries with me. So I'm not talking necessarily about your trauma responses. I realize that part of that, I'm doing it under the energy of a trauma response of doing things that I would not do when other people are around. But my daughter teases me about that you can tell a lot about a person by what's on their bookshelf, and mine is nothing but self-help books. It's like all the good ideas I didn't have all by myself. And so that's what I do in my spare time. I could literally dive into human behavior and why we do what we do and why we do it because we were born when we were, and what our purposes are and what our life branding is, and just I could do it all day long. So that is my passion. So I'm trying to help you separate and sort between what you do because you're stressed, tired, or traumatized and what you would do because it drives you, it's exciting, it's creative, it just sparks all the energy and the good vibes in you. That is what I'm asking you to put next to your passions, okay? So the next page has my deepest held core beliefs, values. So if somebody challenged you and said, you're like, ooh, integrity, I think integrity is really important for myself and to hold myself accountable to being in integrity. And somebody's like, yeah, I don't think you're integrity because you said you were going to go on a diet and you didn't for longer than a week. And then you're like defensive. It's like, well, that's because I got sick, and that's because I just decided not to. And when you get defensive and you start coming up with all the reasons why, it is important to you. And usually defensiveness means that you're not as in tune with the value that you hold near and dear to your heart as you'd like to be. Okay, so that's neither here or there. It's more important that you understand that if you're willing to fight for it, even defend yourself for it, it's a value that you really value. Okay. And I did give you a little box that's full of all the possible deepest held values that you can choose from if you can't come up with your own right off the top of your head. But I challenge you to go ahead and ask yourself, what if I were to say my top 10 values are, even the top 3? Come up with those by yourself before you turn to the guide that I gave you, because I really want you to be true to who you are. Okay, the next page is write out your favorite emotionally charged words. All the ones that have like the good juju for you. For me, it's like limitless and possibilities and enthusiasm and good things. Like my personal mission statement is lay hold upon every good thing. I love that idea. Never another phrase that holds all the good energy for me is never be weary in well-doing. So pick up on all of those, okay? And then let's see. The next one is make a statement that encompasses how you want to feel and want to interact with your life. Now, this is going to take some thinking. It's going to take some writing, so be patient with it. It's going to be, maybe this takes you your entire, free time is to write about it and come up with the most powerful words that express your desires in your heart as you add them in. Okay, so now go back through beginning pages 5 and 7. And in these pages, I want you to, pages 5 and 9. I want you to pull out all the best words. I want you to highlight them, take your highlighter, go through them, look at them, like, oh yeah, if I turn that one around over and over again, it's my favorite. I love the words like enlightenment and visualize. Like, I love those kind of words. So they probably would be in part of my writing. So your values, your mentors, why you follow them as mentors, all of the words that you've used so far, I want you to go back and grab them all and then put them in this list. I want you to see all the words you use that make you go, oof, yes, I love those words. They make me feel alive. Okay. And then from that big list, I'm going to have you narrow it down to 5 words on this next page. And you're going to pull all the words together. So if you have some synonyms that are like limitless and abundant, and you're like, ooh, I have 4 really awesome words that I'm definitely sure about, but limitless and abundant, I want both of them. I really love them. Figure out which one, when you say limitless and then say abundant, which one has a higher vibration to it. play it back and forth in your mind, feel it in your body, close your eyes, say them again. Limitless, abundant. Abundant, in my mind, it has all the possibilities and the limitless all built into it. Limitless is a great idea, and it kind of opens up a path in front of you, but it's not as meaningful. Like the meaning doesn't go as deep as abundant does. Abundant can be used in so many other ways. So in my mind, I would choose abundant over limitless in choosing my 5 favorite words. Okay, so that's just kind of a guide to help you sift and sort. And then in your heart and mind, you gotta narrow it down to 2. You gotta choose like, yes, I can't live without that word. Okay, and then the big drum roll on the next page, you're gonna narrow it down to your one word. Your one word, like of the 2, the one word is just like, wow, yes, that's the one. Okay. My word this year was express. It's so important for me right now to use my voice, to express myself, to use all of the creative ways of my self-expression and put them into the world. And right now I'm doing a lot of painting, I'm doing a lot of writing, I'm creating an online presence like I've never done before. Like I'm really a one-on-one person. And so I've always done my coaching one-on-one, but now I'm opening it up for groups. And now I'm also creating courses that are one-off that you can get hold of. So I'm putting my voice into the world, and the word express just lights my mind on fire right now. So that's an example of where I went with this whole process, which I do every year, by the way. And so now that you have your word, we're going to talk about where your stress levels go, because it's also important to know the application of your word when your life feels stressful. So we're going to go through what was stressing you out the most, the 3 main high stress categories on the stress awareness wheel. And then we're going to go into the highest rating and the root cause of why these things are stressful. Most of the time it's because you're holding yourself back. Most of the time it's because you want more freedom, more time, more of the good stuff. And so you're going to have to sift and sort. Maybe it's more love, but maybe it's more freedom, and maybe it's more expression. Whatever it is that you think is holding you back, that's the root cause of the stress. And then we're going to go do some problem solving, or let me say solution finding. Because I believe that we are focused ahead and using our true self to solve problems, rather than always looking at a problem and thinking we have to solve our problems all the time. So I want you to just go through these exercises. There's 3. We listed out our 3 top stress categories, and then we're going to go through the problem that we think we're trying to solve and put those in. So I have 3 different pages for you to go through the exercises to solve those problems. And when you're done working through those parts, your visualization exercise is ready for you. And it's a crucial part of your program here, your worksheet. Meditation is super important. I go through the elements of how to meditate, and it's not emptying your mind, because I've got ADHD and I'm always like, ooh, shiny. Hey, there's a squirrel. Like I can be distracted, and I do 10 things in an hour and never get anything completed. So, you can see how expression is like driving me to do something rather than get distracted. But this is also part of your process too, is believing the change, feeling it before it happens. And you do that through meditation, through visualization. I want your brain to be focused on the life with you just living Mach 10 with your hair on fire and enjoying every minute of it. Okay. And then keep a journal handy, because through this visualization process, you're going to be doing writing, how it feels, and you're writing in present tense as if your vision has already happened. Okay, so that's the manifesting, right, that we talk about. And then at the very end of this vision and clarity worksheet is you're creating your mission statement. I want you to create a mission statement just like I did. I give you 3 prompts. I am, next line, born to, and then next line, for the purpose of. So it gives you a clear and concise understanding of who you are. And this is the second back pocket tool. It's the bonus. So you'll have your word that helps you sift and sort through stress, but you'll also have your motto, your creed, your logo of who you are and why you're here. And I think it's really important because it's when you get it right, meaning you write it out and you really condense it so it's clear and concise, you're going to be able to use it easier. It'll be functional for you, but it brings you back into alignment. It's like, wow, I went off into the weeds. I don't feel good. Life is hard right now. You can pull yourself back onto the road and realize that those things were just a distraction, that's not really who you are. Who you are is this motto. And when you write it out and you condense it and it just feels so good because it flows right off your tongue, you're like, yeah. And it feels like a relief. It's not something you have to live up to. It's something that you already are. So my motto says, I am pure positive energy, born to share my optimism. I have it up on my wall. Born to share my optimism for limitless possibilities and lay hold upon every good thing. When I read that, I was like, right. Yeah, lay hold upon every good thing. So when I'm sifting and sorting, I'm like, oh, there's this thing, but I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I can be like, yeah, but I would not be true to me because I'm not laying hold upon every good thing. That's not the good thing I need to be laying hold on. It's something else. And I will know when the time comes, even if I don't have a reason not to go, I can just say thank you, no thank you. And it really helps me keep my stress low and stop making excuses or over-explaining to people. That's a trauma response from my childhood. Yes. And I can be me, that I can just be my pure positive energy without regret, without guilt, without shame. And so when you write yours out, it will be crystal clear to who you are and what you want out of life. Okay. And that's mostly it. I give you a few examples of some of my clients who have created these mottos for themselves, and some are short, some are a little bit longer, but it resonated with them and it felt complete. When it feels complete, you know you're there. And I give you the template to work through it, and then a genuine offer. I will help you work through yours, and there are no strings attached. So you can actually go to you just download the Vision and Clarity worksheet. At the very last page, there's a link. You can, on the digital copy, you can click on the link. It goes to my calendar, and you can schedule an appointment with me, and we'll talk about you. We'll talk about you getting clear on who you are, what you want in this life, and it's my gift to you because I'm here to support you and your higher good. So that's where we want to go with it. But thank you. Thank you for being here. This was awesome, and I hope you got a lot out of it, even just listening to it without having the worksheet in front of you. But definitely go download the worksheet, and then you can just spend all the time you need. You don't have to do it in a day. There's no hurry, no race. You can just get in there and put a lot of heart and soul into it and come out with a lot of the good juju on the other side that makes you feel fired up and ready to live your life. Okay? Thank you for listening. Thanks for listening. I invite you to leave your feedback and share your aha moments as you listen to this podcast. Also, you can access more information or any of the programs, courses, or worksheets that I've mentioned on these episodes on my website at teresaford.life. Or what I would really love is for you to connect with me on Instagram at teresaford.coaching and on Facebook at Coaching with Teresa Ford, so I can give you more interesting insights and further coaching to help you fulfill the measure of your creation.